Do you mind saying the topic for this group call, because I can't quite remember how you put it specifically.
Isn't how it's put, like, changes in the fandom from over the years?
Yeah, what we noticed and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think it should be alright to repeat stuff from the last time we tried this and it didn't work.
Oh yeah, please do, because that was a really good call and I'm so mad I couldn't record it then.
Yeah. Okay, I actually think it's become a bit more chilled out than it used to be. Maybe some people might have something to say about that, but I think that people don't care quite as much about who you ship anymore, and about what other fandoms you also happen to be in.
Oh, I just remember from that first call how she was just like, yeah, shipping wars and everything, and how just shipping something, it made people like hate you and like tell you what to do with your own art and everything. And yeah, I don't see that as much of a problem anymore, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, that's it. Like, people you
At least that's not been a problem that I've ever had.
Me neither, but I've seen I've gone to blogs and seen posts from back then, sort of shortly after the time like that. I think I started getting the fandom in around 2000. That was back in 2011, and I've seen a lot of aggressive posts from people saying if you ship US UK, you are bad, and here's why, and all that, and all that jazz.
I just never understood how a person could be like that. It's like, why does that have to be an issue? Just like people like different things in real life, just like some people will prefer a different kind of ice cream than you. And
yeah, exactly.
The same thing with ships. Some people just prefer different things. I'm personally, there's my whole time in the fandom, there's never been once I was like, well, if you ship this ship, you're dead to me. It's never been like that for me, because I pretty much ship just about everything. I mean, there's probably maybe 2 ships I'm not a huge fan of, but it's like I don't dislike a person for shipping it. And me, myself, I'm trying to get more into it as well.
I think, though, people calling, France a rapist and Spain a paedophile or whatever, I think you do need to take that with a pinch of salt, but still, I can see why it would get on your nerves, especially if you really like that character and you can't see them doing anything that bad.
Okay. So basically the whole thing, it was a really nice fan fiction and all. And everyone was written in character as far as I can tell, and everything. Everything was nicely written. It was this story where France is turned into a child, so England had to take care of him. And by the end of it, near the end, okay, Spain and Prussia came over to hang out with France. So then everything was cool until they were talking about, oh, don't touch France in that way, because they're coddling over him because he was so cute and everything. And Prussia's like, Spain, don't touch him that way. You're gonna give him a confused child boner. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, no. I was like, why are you writing it like this?
Boy, that escalated quickly. When you're a kid, you do get a lot of confused child boners, but still, I don't think that seems like the kind of thing that they'd say. Although, I don't know.
I know, but it came out of nowhere, and I was so
exactly.
happy with this fiction before that, but then it completely spoiled it for me. I'm like, why? It was so good, and then you just had to ruin it with that. It's not even funny. That's messed up. Why?
I don't know. To be honest, shame.
These people, I can't.
So yeah, I think people sort of kind of maybe wisen up to that whole trope, and that's all died down a bit.
I really hope so.
Well, I haven't seen people calling France a paedophile in Spain. No, I got the wrong way around. Calling Spain a paedophile and France a rapist for a while now.
Which I'm very grateful for.
Exactly.
And the whole trio of him of Spain and France and Prussia. Like, there was that whole controversy as to whether it's the Bad Friends trio or the Bad Touch trio, and like people were saying, "Oh no, it can't be the Bad Touch trio. That's far too paedophilic." Then I think people were saying, "Okay, it's the Bad Friends trio." But again, that's only some posts on Tumblr I've seen.
But that's the thing, though. Like, why does it have to be like associated with pedophiles if they're a bad touch? Like, they can just, because I just the other way, it sounds weird to me. Like, that's not really, I don't call it that at all. So just wanted to say that.
Personally, I prefer the Bad Touch trio, but I have no problem with people that call them the Bad Friends trio. I mean, in the end, we all know it means the same thing. We all know it means France, Spain, and Prussia. So why does it matter?
Yeah, basically.
True. Okay, so
no matter which term is used, you understand.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. How come you prefer the Bad Touch, calling them the Bad Touch trio then, just out of interest?
To me, it just sounds better, especially when you don't say that out loud, but just call them the BTT. That sounds better than when you shorten it up to the BFT.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So it's mostly a preference to just how it sounds.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
That, and I've heard that first, and I prefer it that way.
Oh no, I was just saying.
You just started.
I was just saying how I still like call them the Bad Friends trio, and you call them the Bad Touch trio. So this means war, is what we would be saying if the fandom was a lot more dramatic back like it used to be.
Oh God, please, no, not again. I don't want to know what it's like when it's more dramatic.
Really, it would be weird if we had a war over a letter difference. BFT, BTT. That would just be, that's not worth the energy.
I know. Just like with all like the shipping wars, as they were called, and everything, like, the fandom used to be quite a lot more focused around shipping. Like, every fan art was shippy fan art, for lack of a better term, and now there's a lot more just sort of drawings of the characters by themselves or just them together, but not in quite such a romantic way, and a lot more historical fan art as well.
Yeah, like a bunch of variety now.
Yeah. I've never so much minded though when there's so much focus on the ships. I've never minded it, but as long as people have been doing it in a peaceful way, I don't really mind if there's so much focus on ships. But I know there are some people that, whether it's peaceful or not peaceful, they just get kind of annoyed with that for whatever reason, which I don't fully understand, but it's how some people feel.
Yeah, maybe some people just don't enjoy the shipping or something, but neither did I. I absolutely loved it, but at the same time, I also enjoyed, like, I once came across like this set of drawings by this one artist, and they were absolutely beautiful. They were all like the characters with these historical figures, like Russia with one of his czars, I think, and America next to George Washington and all that, and I thought, oh wow, that's absolutely brilliant, and that's what sort of got me more into historical fan art.
Yeah. I really do like historical fan art, like with the characters with like real people who maybe they were someone important in their country, ruled or whatever. Like, I love seeing France with Joan of Arc, or America with Amelia Earhart. And then with Russia, I'm not sure what the name is, but I've seen some fan art with him, with some little girl who I guess was like a princess.
Anastasia.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I always forget her name for some reason.
I only know because
really
the
pretty.
roleplay account of her I saw.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Have any of you people seen the Anastasia film then?
I have not.
I have not seen it all the way.
I think that was one of the reasons why I really liked Hetalia, was it was quite a big sort of eye-opener for me about the history of other countries, and I think it might have been for other people as well, which was quite a big... Which was one of the reasons why lots of people started liking it, and like I remember I didn't even know that Prussia was a thing until I started watching Hetalia. And
Exactly, and I also wasn't very sure because before Hetalia, I did not realize Austria was just its own country. I used to get it confused with Australia.
Oh, wow. I have never heard that before.
Well, there's never been a point in time in my life where I actually had to know that was actually Austria was actually a country. The very few times I heard it up until Hetalia, I just thought like maybe they just misspelled Australia or something. So I never really had any point or much of a chance to really know until Hetalia. Oh.
Wow.
oh, so did you think that if you went to Vienna, you'd see lots of kangaroos jumping about?
Oh my god. But apparently I'm not the only one who's been confused about that before, though. At least online I've seen read posts and seen like pictures that are just have the words on them and stuff so apparently there's at least other people who've made the same confusion I have. So
yeah, you're probably not the first. I wouldn't worry about
that. But yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of something. I remember when I first started watching it and everything, and how Seychelles came out of nowhere, and I'm like, who are you? I thought she was like an OC at first, but I'm like, that doesn't make sense, and people would be angry if she was an actual, I'm like, she's a country, right? So I was like, what? But like, I just brought that up because I wanted to ask if you guys noticed if there's like a change, like, do you see any difference in how people like feel about Seychelles? Because like I know before people really don't like her.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
They don't like the girls in general.
People used to hate her, didn't they? For some reason.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I think I heard that a lot of people were mad at her because she got in the way of their yaoi or something.
But
yeah, that's stupid excuse.
How the hell does she get in the way of it though? Like. Maybe I could just about understand people not liking Hungary because like she's like kind of in the middle of it all a lot. But Seychelles, she's just all the way in the Indian Ocean, I believe, just off the coast of Africa, doing her own thing.
I think the reason she was the target. I think the reason she was the target was because in the game for Hetalia, she's the main character that you play as, and then you get to romance any of the other characters. So I think that's why a lot of focus put on her was because in the Gakka Natalia game or whatever.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, I've never played it. So I don't know. I've not seen it much of it myself. But
I mean, I just saw screenshots of it, and I read like a few of the entries and like what you can do in the game and like the options and like what she does.
It never got an English translation, did it?
Nope.
Are just as much about the yaoi in the fandom as it always was, because like I've seen like people like think that Hetalia is literally just yaoi from what they've seen of it, and I don't know if that's still the same thing or not that people get as their first impression of it, if that makes sense.
From all I know is from the impression I've gotten from what the people on Tumblr think of Hetalia, and they just think it's a bunch of comedy and gay love. That's all they think it is. And then if anyone tells any more people, like anyone in the fandom tells even a little bit to people outside of it, then they think it goes back and forth from being happy-go-lucky gay guy fun time to just very depressing stuff. So on the surface they seem to think it's just all pretty much all yaoi and laughs, but yeah,
kind of almost
like
true.
When I first joined, I didn't have any idea about the yaoi, and I just assumed, hey, I didn't even know what to assume, to be honest. My friend didn't tell me anything about it. They're just like, watch it, you have to watch it. And I'm like, okay, I have to keep watching it.
Oh my god. But actually, because before, I never even got into yaoi or yuri or anything like that until Hetalia. Because before that, I've heard of it because some of my friends, when we first got into the anime and manga, we started with the manga first. Fruits Basket back in middle school. My friend Rachel and Mel and Caitlin, they got into shipping yaoi couples before me, and it was the kind of thing where I didn't understand it but didn't get into it. But then I got Hetalia came into my life, and I was like, and that's when I got into it, and that's where I got my obsession.
Oh gosh, I know what you mean.
Oh, but yeah. Yeah. I think it's hard. I think it would be hard to be in this fandom and not like yaoi, since it may not be something that you absolutely have to be into in order to be in the fandom and stuff. But it's but like the majority of the people in the fandom love yaoi so strongly that it dominates a lot of areas of the fandom. So if you're a person who doesn't like yaoi at all, it must be kind of uncomfortable sometimes to be in the fandom, I would think.
I suppose, but I think it might have gone a bit easier. Oh. Okay, I think it might.
Bless you.
Thank you. I think it might actually be easier though than it used to be to be in the fandom and not be keen on yaoi or yuri or whatever. But then again, that's just from it's just from the kind of things that I've seen or been able to pick up from Tumblr posts and stuff on DA.
Yeah. But when it comes to Yuri, though, it's people in the fandom who like Yuri are in the very, very minority. Because most people, in order from what I've noticed, that people like it, they prefer yaoi, then hetero, then Yuri. Like most people in the fandom, they either are neutral to Yuri or are just kind of against it, because a lot of people are very negative just towards the female characters in the show, whether it's shipping them with any character, whether it's shipping the girls together with themselves or shipping them with the guys. It's like there's a lot of negativity towards girls in general. Like even on Facebook, where because I RP with people on Facebook, like anybody who tries to RP as a girl character on Facebook, they'll get little to no RPs compared to the guys, especially compared to the Americas and the Englands and the Frances, because girls are just kind of the girl characters are kind of looked down upon, it seems like, which is really, really sad, because people, it's like our fandom is so obsessed to yaoi to the point where if it's not a guy, then you don't want it to have anything to do with the show or what you're RPing or the fanfic you're reading. And it's like, the girls have done nothing wrong. So just because they're not a guy, you're going to hate on them.
You see,
and what's funny is, though, that most of the fandom is female. And it's like, oh, if it was you in this situation, you'd like to see it.
You know, that's funny, though, because I didn't realise that was still the case, though. I thought it might have all chilled out a bit in the last few years or so.
At least, all I can say is when it comes to role-playing, there's still a lot of hate for female characters. In other areas, I can't really say. I feel like I'm not a very good judgment on it. But when it comes to role-playing online and stuff, when it comes to the fandom and everything, that I am a good judge on, because I'm so deep in it.
Oh, yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. Because, like, my main muse is Russia. And, like, every time I use Russia, that's how I get the most amount of role plays. Like, I can have 30 messages on, like, a very busy day if I use him. But, like, if I try to use, like... Well, I don't really have female characters, but I'm sure if I try to do that, it wouldn't be the same. Like, even with the OCs, I've seen female OCs. The only reason they get attention is if they talk to everyone and they're very active. Otherwise, people don't really bother with them.
Yeah, but there's also been a problem, which it kind of died down a bit, but there's also been a problem with the Italian roleplay community, to where the only time, a lot of the time when the girl characters do get attention, it's because people just want plotless smut. So they just want to roleplay the smut, and then they don't really want anything much to do with the muse or the person RPing them. And that's like, which I did not realize that was much of a thing. I mean, I had heard about it, but then the more girl characters I started to RP, the more I started seeing, because I RP quite a lot. Majority of the characters I RP, because The only guys IRP are Romano in Canada. But other than that, everyone IRP are girls. Like Femme America, Femme England, Femme Canada, Liechtenstein. Oh, I was saying that because the only guy characters I roleplay as is Canada and Romano, but most of the characters I RP as are like Femme America, Femme England, Liechtenstein, Femme Canada, people like that. Plus, I also have 2 OCs, but that's slightly off the top. But I will say this: if you have a Hetalia, if you have a Hetalia OC that's a girl, they are the bottom. They're at the bottom of the trash bin to many people, because it's bad enough that they're a girl, but when it's an OC, because people in fandom, if you work hard enough, your OC, most people, you can get a little love for your OC, but if your OC is a girl, then you have no chance of it whatsoever. If it's a guy and you put a lot of effort into it, then yes. But
do you think that's because do you think that's because just a lot of the fandom is female, so they hot guys and that?
I don't really know. I think
you mostly roleplay on Facebook?
Yes, because I've not been able to find anywhere else that is even slightly suitable. I can't get.
You haven't tried DeviantArt?
I can't do it. I've tried, but I'm so used to Facebook. Facebook, even though Zuckerberg did not mean for it to become this, in fact, him and Facebook do everything he can to get RP counts off of there. But besides that, Facebook is just, the way it is, the way it's been made, is just so good for role-playing. But DeviantArt, it's not. At least I never could get into it. But at least with Facebook, you get to make a profile for your character. You get to have the bio listed out, and then there are groups, and it's a lot easier to get a hold of people, and then all your information about your character is right there in your profile. With DeviantArt, there's so many other hoops you would have to jump through, so many, and you would have to go around thinking about things in completely different ways. So
I've never heard that before.
Really?
Yeah, because when I roleplay, every time it's on DeviantArt or on Skype, that's what I'm used to. Every time I've roleplayed, it's only from DeviantArt.
I've only ever roleplayed with close friends. The roleplay groups are completely new to me, honestly.
Oh, God.
I just want to say that I can't get used to DeviantArt. I just can't do it. And then forums, I can't, because it's all about how things are set up, and that's why Facebook has been the only good place for me to roleplay in. But of course, there's the problem of your accounts being deactivated and getting locked out and stuff. So then I've had to create numerous accounts for the same character over and over again in the past, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But which is frustrating. But actually, what?
Because you said thank God for Iceland being the only country left. I'm like, why thank God?
No, not thank God that he's the only one, but thank God he survived it. Because no matter what, I mean, I know it's not, there's no really personifications, but whenever I hear Iceland or Germany or America, I just can't think of anyone but the character. So when I think that Iceland survived, I see the character, and I
knew. I got that.
Yeah,
I got that.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I thought.
Oh, hey,
hey, Jay.
Jay's here. Hi.
Yeah, I noticed she was here, but I was in the middle of talking, and I didn't know whether I should stop her and say hello or what I was supposed to do. So it's kind of like.
Well, I wanted to wait for you to finish anyway. I only got far by.
We ended up talking a bit.
I just want you to know that I was not ignoring you to be mean or nothing.
No, it's okay. I understand.
We ended up
I
talking
were
a
in the
bit
middle
about.
of a pirate.
We ended up talking.
We
a
got
bit
off
about
topic
books.
forever ago.
Yeah, we have been. One thing I wanted to ask is, have any of you in the past been worried that the fandom was shrinking and then stopped worrying? Because I remember I saw a lot of posts about people saying oh, so and so's left the fandom, or I'm leaving the fandom, and I thought, oh, okay, eventually it's just going to be me here. Eventually I'm just going to be the only one reblogging yaoi and writing shitty fanfics, and it's just going to be
Okay, sorry.
like
This is reminding me of. Sorry.
and it's going to be like
Sorry.
the start of 28 Days Later.
But this is like reminding me of this one picture I've been seeing around where it's like when you're obsessed with a book without a fandom, and there's just this dude sitting in the middle of this field and it's like, well, it's just me and my own feelings.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like that's what I'm imagining. But I do think the fandom has been shrinking. At least, I can't say for as a whole, but I have heard on like Tumblr people getting so mad saying they're leaving the fandom. A little bit on DeviantArt, but where I've heard that, but then where I've seen the shrinking at the very least, I can't say for the whole fandom and stuff because I'm not in every corner of this fandom. But when it comes to like the role playing and like on Facebook and stuff, that at least that section of the Italian community has shrunk. Like there used to be seemingly like a million in that section of the fandom, but now it's like you see it's like everything's gotten a lot smaller. The community has gotten a lot smaller. And
I can attest to that in the role playing community on DeviantArt too, because like I don't know why exactly. Like after this one summer and like after school was out, like it seemed like a lot of people just stopped coming, and I'm like, okay, so like it's all the people you know and like the people you don't talk to. Those are the only people left, and even if there's new people, they don't really get a chance unless like you actually go out and try and befriend them. Otherwise, it's like there's no point in coming here.
Although maybe that's not so bad though as I originally thought. Though maybe it's better to have a smaller group of dedicated people than just a bunch of mindless dicks going about.
Yeah, but the problem is though that it's not just the bad eggs that leave. It's also because it's also some people that are just tired of the drama that's been in the fandom over the years, or they've heard a lot of bad stuff and they're just like don't want to get into it. So it's like some people are leaving, but not many people are coming in. It's like our fandom's dying off because people are leaving because of such and such drama or whatever, or maybe they feel like they quote unquote outgrown it. But there's no one coming in fueling this.
Yeah, I'd like to hop in on that point about more people leaving than coming in. It's just interesting with this fandom in particular. Like, a lot of people are leaving because they're offended of what another fan did. It almost has nothing to do with the actual series itself. It's about that they hate the other fans, or something in fanon happened and they were just overwhelmed with it, and then they leave because they don't want to be associated with it, or they don't want to see it anymore. Like, I see that a lot on DeviantArt, especially.
Oh, definitely.
Which I don't really agree with people leaving for such reasons. Because you're going to leave something that you came into the fandom because you decided this is what you're passionate about. You love the show, you love reading the fanfic, you love seeing the fan art, you come to love the characters. But yet someone else upsets you in the fandom because maybe of their opinion, something they did, and maybe in some situations that they have a valid reason to be upset with that person.
Yeah.
But you're really going to let go of all of this, what you swore up and down that you've loved and obsessed with for all this time, but you're going to let it go because someone upset you. It's like,
I have seen that happen
really
countless
all of
times.
this,
Many.
Yeah. So if you really loved the show and the characters and the people in it, then one person upsetting you shouldn't be enough for you to drop everything and say it doesn't mean anything to you anymore and you're not going to deal with it anymore. Because but that's just me. Sometimes I think I feel a little too strongly when it comes to anything Hetalia. Like I'm too strong on the topic. So
I understand.
So it's like, I have strong opinions on stuff, but I'm also very lenient. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of disappointing the way some other people handle things in fandom.
No, but actually, I really understand what you mean. Because, like, after certain things happened this year, I was like, okay, you know what, that's cool. And I'm like, I'm just gonna stay over here, get out of your drama. And like, I never ever considered leaving because I love it here way too much. But I just thought I just need to step back from them. They can have fun over there doing their thing. I'm just gonna keep being here. They're not gonna like it, but I don't care. They aren't a part of my life. They're not gonna make me stop loving something.
Yeah, but it's
exactly.
overall,
like,
it's
I've
really
heard a lot of people give me some mean remarks as well, but I luckily I've been able to mostly shrug them off, I guess.
Yeah,
but that
back.
But that was also mostly back in the day when people in the fandom were a lot more dramatic, I think we could say.
Yeah, and like back in those days, though, I used to get crap just for shipping America and England together.
Back in the day,
and it's like, I try not to let it faze me because I just think like, wow, you actually have nothing better to do in your life than make me feel like crap for loving something that's in the same topic as what you love. You just think, and it's like, honestly, because I do get hurt by some things that people have said back then, and how strongly they were just against me liking what I like. But I also, even when I feel hurt, I also end up feeling so bad for that other person that it's like, what's going on in your life that the only way for you to feel better is tearing me down.
Well, it's likely that they had their ship made fun of, and then they got mad about it, and that they're just retaliating by making fun of someone else.
Yeah, and that's where the cycle will always end with me. Because I'll never take pleasure nor will I ever feel better about myself for tearing someone else down. Even if someone does that stuff to me, like in situations like that, I'm not going to pass it on to like the next fruit shipper or something. Like, yeah, no, you do you, I do me. I like my ships, you like your ships. I'm okay with that. So, yeah, I don't know, but that's just how I am with things.
Although I feel like I haven't seen as many ship wars as like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like they've all seemed to have kind of died out.
Yeah.
And do you remember when like the Hetalia fandom as well like had that big thing against the Homestuck fandom?
Oh my god, HetaStuck. Oh, that was...
Am I bringing back war flashbacks now? Have I triggered your PTSD?
Every YouTube video, everyone had Hetalia fans against Homestuck against Hetalia, and then you had those people...
Whoa, when was this? I was gone.
Oh, well, this was pretty... like YouTube territory. Oh man, you could probably look at old Homestuck videos and see
what year was this?
I don't remember this being such a strong war type thing. But I do remember a situation that went on for a while that I interpreted as a love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah,
but maybe yeah.
It was either they loved it together and made like the Hetalia characters trolls, or like trolls. Like,
oh my god, I'm sorry, I just loved fan arts like that when they would do that, or when they personified the Hetalia fandom in general with a personification of the Homestuck fan, and how some people would ship them together or make them best friends. No matter what it was, I found it adorable. It's like, that's how it needs to be. Stop fighting. It's like, stop fighting, just love each other like they love each other. But,
I think the people who didn't like it were like fandom purists who didn't like crossovers at all. They're just like, stuck their nose up at everything. Like, yeah.
Get your trolls out of my Hetalia.
Oh. Like, there are some people, though, who don't like, no matter what it is, even if it's not Hetalia related, like, some people don't like any sort of crossover type things. Like, they don't like if you ship someone in, like, let's say, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, if you ship her from with the prince from Cinderella, then there are some people that'll get really peeved about that.
Like Jelsa, Jack Frost, Guardians.
Oh yes.
Elsa.
I've not even seen Guardians of the Galaxy, but I find them adorable together. But there are some people which, it's like in a way I understand where they're coming from. coming from, but in the other way, it's like because I've been told by people like that to say, well, it would never be possible because they're from totally different series, so they would never be together. It's like they're fictional characters; they will never be together anyway.
And again, that's why I don't get why some people don't like some ships. Like there's people who say that US UK is incest, and I just want to say I'm sorry, but they're fictional, okay? And like people who say, "Oh, you shouldn't ship anybody with Liechtenstein because she's far too young." Well, I'm sorry, it's fictional.
She's not far too young. What isn't she like? Isn't she like?
It's just her appearance.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly that as well. Like she's meant to be centuries old, I think.
Yeah. So isn't she around like Iceland's age? Because I've seen people like ship those two together, and people will still like have a cow over it. And it's like, just calm down, ship who you want. And by the way, when it comes to that whole Yusuk thing, they're not even story-wise, they're not even related. There's no blood relation.
Exactly,
I know, and I really hate every time they say it's incest, because that's such a lie.
Yeah,
they say it because it's like, England was his caretaker. He took care of him. He was like dad / big brother to him.
Like a dad does not mean.
But like they were not related.
Exactly.
They were not related, but just because of the whole role, the kind of role England played for America, that's why they do it. It's like,
that's why they call each other brothers, because you were like a brother to me, man. You know, like that.
So it's like
the whole brother-sister thing in Hetalia is kind of weird because like you have Feliciano and Lavino, they're brothers.
Yeah,
like blood brothers.
And the same thing as well with Norway and Iceland, because there were no indigenous people in Iceland, but there were Native Americans and Aboriginals.
There was a Hetalia episode on that where Iceland had like the blood test results or something that pretty much said there was like a 92% chance that England was like his blood brother.
Well, Iceland.
I remember that episode. So
don't you mean Norway?
England.
Was his
what?
Brother? Norway is Iceland's brother. Not
Norway.
You said England.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just
I know that like
my brain is goop and it's
I know that the English did
room.
colonise a lot of countries. Just putting out there. I don't think Iceland was one of them. I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, England practically did rule the world at one point. Well, at least he had a lot of...
they used to say that the sun never sets on the British Empire, but today it's set at about 9 p.m. GMT.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Kiji, for that witty remark.
Oh.
Do you guys think that Australia is actually like blood related to England?
I don't think so, because there were what they called
because Australia had its
Maori.
What?
But I thought like Australia was the place where England just kept dropping off the prisoners, and before that there were basically either there were some people but not many, or there weren't people at all.
I thought that how it works though is that for they to be blood related, there have to be no indigenous people living there, but that there were people living in Australia before it got colonised.
Mm-hmm.
Like the majority of the people that do and have lived in Australia, though, I would think have some kind of English ancestry.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
If that's what it's always seemed.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I think the Aboriginals, they've just they don't have any English ancestry.
They were They were from Asia, like.
Yeah, originally, like from places like Indonesia.
Like Melanesia and all those places down there in the Pacific.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say they're like...
That's kind of weird to me. I've never heard such, but y'all must be right.
I only know because my OC from Solomon Islands. That's the only reason I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, the English and I guess the British killed a lot of them after they colonised the place, so there aren't many left, I'm afraid.
Of course, genocide.
Yeah, genocide.
Unfortunately, that seems to be a pretty high skill for humanity.
I know.
Way to bring a room.
Oh well, you know, that kind of reminds me of another thing I've seen change in the fandom as well, is people seem to be a lot less concerned about the dark humor that is in Hetalia. Like, like I hate to say this, but like on Tumblr especially, you see people who say that if something's offensive, then it's downright bad and that it should go away. Well, people have been saying that because Hetalia has a few kind of dark jokes on it, then it's obviously going to be bad. And I remember once an angry Italian once commented on some, I think, fan art I did, and he said that Hetalia is an insult to his country. And
What kind of dark
Oh, you
jokes
said
have
it was
there
that Italian guy, right?
yeah, and then I told one of my Italian friends about that, who also likes Italia, and he was like, "What? No, it isn't. Italia insults everybody. What's he?
Exactly.
Why is he being
Yeah,
angry?"
but what kind of dark jokes have there been?
Oh wait, no, I know a few. Okay, we all know about the Germany asking Romano if he's gonna give him more Jews, and then Russia talking about his pro-hate law for for gay people because the way he was dressed in the April Fool's Day episode, it came so fast. Like, I didn't even hear it until I went back and watched it again. I was like, whoa, what? I was like, no. It was so funny, though. I had to laugh.
Yeah, it's usually, like, popped up really quick, and you can't even catch them all at first. And then you go back and... Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. But, yeah. And I noticed that fan art is being made for a lot of tragedies now. Like,
please don't remind me.
Am I the only person who
Ah.
doesn't really mind those, so long as they're done right?
Yeah, because to me, it's just like, sorry, but it's just, to me, when people do fan art for that, to me, it's like on a somewhat of the same level as like historical pictures.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like this one, like this one that I saw with both England and Femme England, like in London. I don't know which World War it was from, but London was getting bombed or something, and they were in the middle of that.
World War II.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so to me, I put them on the save equivalent of that, and like there was even this one, but for more farther into present day, but still not quite present day. Someone had made I don't know where it is, I haven't seen it in forever, but someone had actually not only made up a tiny head, I don't know if it'd be considered a head cannon, but also I think they drew a picture of, do you remember when a few years ago or something, there was an elementary school that got shot up or something?
Which
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
There was a
been
fan
many.
art story for that.
Oh, Sandy Hook.
Yes.
Someone had actually made like a I guess you can call it headcanon plus a picture of America coming there to try to save the kids, and he had to be the one to shoot down the shooter or whatever, and that it still kind of scars him that he had to do that or whatever, and that tragedy took place at all. Like, I remember around the time that the event happened, someone had done that. And I mean, I know that sensitive topics and these kind of things that people cover, but it's we just got to accept that. Yeah, it's something that happened. We have to accept it. And and when you put it in a Italia format, it's just giving a different way to present the situation.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
it's not
that's a good
harming
point. I think
anything.
that's
And then-
maybe people making fan art of tragedies is kind of like their way of accepting it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And like people
It's
being
kind-
preachy and saying, "Oh no, you shouldn't do that. It's offensive." That's kind of like not only shitting over somebody's way of dealing with it, but it's also shitting over somebody's creativity.
For some
which is
people, that
horrible.
is just comfort. That's how they comfort themselves and others. And in some cases, it's just a different way to explain what happened, like an easier way, especially for younger members and stuff. And mostly it is just for comfort too. But it's just.
But fun, but
There's
we're saying all that now, but then again, I've seen a lot of negativity go towards that kind of fan art. Like, people used to be not sort of negative towards it, but I think it used to be more accepted. But now people are saying that, oh no, you should not do that, even though I think it's perfectly fine, so long as it's not too cringe, for lack of a better term.
I have the way you guys described it and what I believe you're talking about, I agree with. I think that's fine. Like, I personally wouldn't do it, especially so soon, like with Orlando and everything, but I wouldn't, that wouldn't bother me if I saw it. But this one instance, and I told B about this, hopefully I can remember and say it the same way I told her, that someone had a Paris OC and and they used that event as a RP starter, and that bothered me so much. It was like the day after, like they made it a roleplay starter, and like how countries should. I didn't like that.
Well, I guess it's fine to be bothered by it.
In a way, I think that was slightly insensitive because the event just happened. People were still shooken up. I mean, I'm not against that kind of thing being RP'd. Just like I'm not against anyone RPing events in like World War I or II or something
exactly
like that. But people are still hurt. The wound is still very fresh. It's still wide open.
Exactly, though. But I think though, like,
time to heal.
I think though it's important though, like even though it's important for them to be able to roleplay what they want, I also think it's important for you to be able to say, "Oh, that's insensitive" as well. So long as you two can both sort of, I don't know, still look past that and not hate each other and not try and tell each other that you're wrong because you're both entitled to your opinions.
I mean, they're entitled to their opinions.
I took it as it was their way of getting attention, like trying to garner attention for themselves because of this tragedy, but like trying to make themselves relevant and trying to, have fun because of it. And I guess you could say, well, they're just making the best of it. Yeah. But I do believe that you shouldn't make fun of things so soon. You should let it run its... Then you can creatively deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah, like, just respect the dead.
But I don't think that was their way of making fun of the incident.
Yeah.
Even if they were using the incident as an idea to RP, I don't think they had any intention to make fun of the incident. But I do think it was too soon to turn it to actually turn it into an RP idea. But I don't think they meant any harm by it. It was probably just something that maybe through RPing it, they thought maybe they could comprehend the situation better by getting information, because maybe they'll think another person has more information and then try to RP it realistically.
And they might have thought that although it's tragedy, they could still, I don't know, somewhat make the best of it by at least enjoying a good roleplay, which isn't... Yeah. And enjoying good roleplay, again, it's not going to bring anybody who died back to life. I know that sounds callous, I'm sorry. But it's kind of...
No, it's fine. I know what you're trying to say.
I know.
Like, I imagine French and you saw that in your inbox. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't know how I would feel about it. I just think it's distasteful to do it that quickly and to really and do that specific thing.
People were still hurting over it. It was still a triggering topic because what about the people that had to deal with that day, that went through it that day? What if there was someone who was either in Paris that day or around it or whatever, or it was just or they just lived in the country? Yes. And then what if there's someone, whether they were in it or whether someone they loved had to be a part of that, and then what if they're part of our community and they were just trying to roleplay online, just try to forget, just try to be distracted because they don't want to deal with all that, and then wham, that is a smack in their face seeing that. It's like that's why they need to see it a lot more time. It's like some people think that because there's a lot of talk, not just. This is not specifically Hetalia-wise, but there are a lot of people nowadays, especially like older people, who think that our generation or people in general nowadays gets triggered too easily, or we're too sensitive. But there are some things you got to draw the line somewhere, and I think that is a spot where you have to draw the line.
Okay.
That is not where. That's not something you should do so soon. You got to think about because even if it's not something that affected you, because a lot of people who had nothing to do with France or in Paris in that time, it was just a story. We didn't really see much of it other than what was on the news. It wasn't. We heard about it. We felt sad about it, but if you were not a part of it, it does not truly feel real. So people don't think about that, and then they go to do it anyway. But it's like, you got to think about the people who did go through that.